to you, Johnny.
221 and 1/4 pounds for the challenger. 200.
So 15-7 for Alexander Usyk.
What's good, family? So smash the like button, subscribe and lick off the bell. So we just saw there your mans Anthony, Joshua and Alexander, very nice, Usyk have now weighed in. Your mans Usyk weighed in 221 pounds. Now on his weight he looked pretty full, to be fair, but he didn't look bulbous. He didn't look Dillian White Sarf. Usyk actually, I don't know what he's done. I don't know whether he's been following, I don't know, some of, no, I'm not going to say that. You know what, he looks full. Yeah? He looks full and good. 221 pounds. He doesn't look, I had a bit of worries. There was one point, I saw some of Usyk's training footage and he looked a bit fluffy. So I don't know what he's done, but he looks a clean, strong 221. He hasn't put weight on for the sake of it. Sometimes we see people, I'm trying to think of an example. For example, Tony Bellend. Tony Bellend, when he went up to heavyweight, he ain't really a heavyweight. I think he was only 213 as well, and he looks soft. But Usyk, I don't know how he's done it. It's all pretty much lean weight he's added. He hasn't added much body fat at all, which is quite surprising when you go up 20 pounds or 15 pounds. But either way, he's done it. Now, it's interesting because I leaked a video a few weeks ago telling you, man, that Usyk is coming to put one on the end of AJ's allegedly suspect chin. That's what I leaked. Now, him coming in 221, where he normally weighs in, 208? He's coming to do exactly what I said he was. That's what the weight implies. He could have stayed at more or less a cruiserweight weight, 212, 213, and tried to just gone in there and just run around the place. He's added more weight for a reason. He's added more weight. He wants to be more sturdy. You only need to be sturdy if you're planning on holding your feet. No doubt about that. And the fact he only weighed in 217 versus Chisora only a few months ago, 4 pounds may not sound a lot to a uneducated or non-specific don, but trust me, in the sports world, adding 4 pounds of weight, that's what, 2 kilos. That's significant. That is literally what? 2% of your body weight. We're talking sports science here, dons, yeah? Super duper sports science. You don't add 2 kilos for nothing. 2 kilos of lean mass. Damn, you don't even add 2 kilos of dead weight. To add 2 kilos of muscle, you've got to have been seriously on this thing. Especially when you're already an athlete. It's not like these guys weren't working already, if that makes sense. You don't add 2 kilos of muscle for nothing. Or by chance, rather. Usyk has been in the gym looking to add size. Why would he be doing that? Johnny Nelson made a good point. He said, listen, if Usyk's planning on running around, let's look at this the other way for a second. Okay, let's assume Usyk's planning to run around. What's the last thing you'd do if you're planning to run around? If you're planning to be nimble, if you're planning to nick a few points, what would you do? Sorry, what's the last thing you'd do? The last thing you'd do if you're looking to be nimble and be on the outside is add weight. You know your legs are going to get tired. More tired. Carrying more weight's never no good if you're trying to run around. So there in itself, that almost proves a negative. If we know adding weight is a bad look to run around, it must mean, or it's more likely the opposite is true. He's coming, tuck his elbows in, and one thing I do like about Usyk is his chin's always down and he's got a nice little tight guard. Is he going to imply that to the fight and come in there, especially on the back of the Ruiz 2 performance, especially on the back of the Pulev performance? I already told you, man, this. Competitors, I've spoke to a few dons, a few people in the heavyweight division. They've told me we rock hard to get in there with AJ now. We love what we see. We love the fact he was running around with a 40-year-old man who's no good. People see that and they think, yeah, man, if Pulev can go 9 rounds, if stiff old Pulev can go 9 rounds, I'll have a go on that. I think I'll have a pop on that. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's waiting to have a go. Everyone's lining up to get their shot. You got Joe Joyce now barking around the place. These guys weren't saying nothing. That's the problem I've got. These men weren't 3 years ago. These men weren't saying nothing. They was quiet, and rightfully so. Now all of a sudden, after Pulev and Ruiz, quite rightly so again, everyone lining up. Everyone in a nice circle right now, stroking themselves off, just waiting to have a go. No doubt, that's what it is. Call me a liar. They're lining up, waiting to have a go. And AJ ain't got no one else to blame but himself at this point. But either way, as far as Usyk goes, he can be as heavy as he wants. He ain't got, his guard's nice, his chin's down, but there's levels to this game. And even if AJ, listen, Usyk can't win, in my opinion. There's nothing he can do. Because even if Usyk comes marching forward, he's just going to get jabbed. His head's going to get jabbed off by AJ running around. Look at the Usyk fight. Look at the Ruiz 2 fight. Ruiz was coming forward. AJ jabbed his nut off for him. Now that's not what I wanted to see. Didn't know real AJ fan want to see that, but it proved that you're going to need to be real. You're going to need to be like Mike Tyson to stop AJ or to beat AJ when he wants to run around. So if Usyk comes marching forward and AJ runs around, he ain't going to win. I guess the question is, if AJ comes for smoke and Usyk comes for smoke and they clash in the centre of the ring, what happens then? Is AJ's skills going to be a little sloppy like Ruiz won and you get caught? I'm telling you, man, now. The only reason Ruiz caught AJ was because of the neurological impairment. That's it, because he was concussed. AJ on his day, no one knocked him out, and AJ is now on his day, in my opinion. AJ not neurologically compromised, no one's knocking him out. That's a fact. No one's stopping him. No one's putting him down. Ruiz stopped him because he was concussed. That's the bottom line. So, and by the way, Ruiz throws like 6 at once. Usyk don't throw 6 at once. Ruiz was the perfect alignment of the stars. So even if Usyk does come forward, he's gonna need a miracle. He's gonna have suddenly had to have grown power out of nowhere, and putting weight on doesn't give you power. Doesn't add magical power to you. So in my opinion, Usyk's got no hope. That said, I'm interested to see how he does with no hope. If that makes sense. Anyway, moving on to AJ now. AJ weighed in 240 pound. This was heavier than a lot of people expected. AJ weighed in a career lightest, I believe, or more or less near his lightest, at 237 or 238 against Ruiz 2. He then weighed in, I think, 240 against Pulev. Now he's 240 again. This, for me, is better than not. There was a time some of us man were worried, he's going to weigh in 232 or something. That would have been worrying. That would have confirmed he's going to run around. He's going to be doing the most running around. The fact he's 240 shows that there hasn't been an active plan to be running around. 240 is an alright weight. I prefer to see him down at 238, 237, but I guess that's nitpicking. And he looked good. He didn't look, when you see him at 255 versus Takam, he looked swollen. Yes, AJ has A1 genetics where he never carries fat, but he did look swollen and bulbous. Now, he's lean. Now he's lean and just ready. What he's ready for is a mystery. You man know my opinion. AJ's a super athlete. He can outbox with the best of them, with Mike Tyson with Lennox Lewis and Tyson Fury. He can do that with the best of them, and he can Mike Tyson with the best of them. So it's at this point, it's a choice of what he decides to do. Only he can control what he decides to do. Now his body's down at the optimum range of 237 to 240. The world's his oyster. What I'm dying to see, though, AJ down at 240 having an active, aggressive strategy. We've seen him be able to dance for 12 rounds against Ruiz, but we haven't seen him implement that low weight now with putting shots together. And it's interesting. After this weigh-in, AJ made some interesting comments. He said that, yeah, I'm lower weight now, so I should be able to put more combinations together and last longer. Because even at 255 against Takam, I was putting combinations together, and I went 10 rounds. So now I'm at 240, I should be able to do it even easier. That's what he said. I'm just praying we get something like that. Because watch, the Takam fight was exactly what I've been talking about, more or less. He was there for it. He whooped on the small, stocky duck. He whooped on the small, stocky guy. AJ loved whooping on him. AJ's favourite thing to do was whoop on small, stocky dudes. Now you got Usyk, long, cruiserweight, perfect dude. He just waiting to be whooped on some more. I'll tell you what boxing has missed. What boxing has missed? Boxing has missed AJ whooping on dudes. That's what it's missed, 100%. Just going in there and whooping on them. Look at the Brazil fight. Look at the Takam fight. People just got whooped. That's what they did. That's what happened. Call me a liar. He went in there and whooped them. And rightfully so. Dillian White got whooped as well. Good old daddy whoopings. That's what I can compare it to. The best thing to compare it to is AJ put all of his sons in line. Yeah? He put Dillian White in line for him. Don't forget that. Dillian White got put into line nicely. Brazil got put into line. All them man got put into line. And rightfully so. That's what's been missing in the last few years. You got people like Ruiz with their head barking about trilogy. He's able to do that because you didn't put him in line. People are still running around the place talking about Ruiz. You understand? It's not right. It's been an injustice what's happened the last few years. There ain't been no whoopings handed out. Look at Pulev. Pulev got put down and jumped up and he acted all goofy. Because you didn't whoop him, that's why. You didn't beat the fight out of him. You best believe. Brazil had the fight whooped out of him. There's no doubt about that. Yeah? That's what needs to happen in this fight right now. You're down at 240. No excuses, no messing about. March this goofy cruiserweight into the corner and work him and weigh on him. And pull his head down. Yeah, just bully him. Why not? What's he going to do? He ain't going to do nothing. He can run around. Just like he did against Chisora. Usyk couldn't even do nothing with Chisora. What are we talking about here? There's levels to this game. If you can't handle Chisora all day and night, you've got no hope against a phenom. Yeah? Anyway, the weights are in. Nothing's a massive shock. And now all we've got is 24 hours or just over 30 hours and it's game time. Your Mando IB's rock hard for it, no doubt. Smoke time. That's what it needs to be right now.